So today we're going to kickstart by having a nice, refreshing
But this
sip
is a bubbly.
from our sponsor for today's episode, Bubbly Sparkling Waters. We've got some lime bubblies here. They have no calories, no sweeteners, no anything in them. They just have that flavor essence.
It's gently flavored water infused with violence.
Now let's crack open a cold one with the boys here on 3, 2, 1.
Music.
Satisfaction. Okay,
My
now
ears just-
should we just sip them, or let's just go ahead and chug them and see if we get really bad burps?
I'm good with the chugging.
Let's chug them, see if we get really bad burps. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, it hurts already. It hurts already.
Oh,
Oh no!
crispy. That was crispy.
I want to burp so bad. I still got a little bit more.
Oh, that is some carbonation. That is
Oh,
some
God.
carbonation right there. Oh,
Are we trying not to burp?
No, I'm just.
No, just do it. Let it out. Let
I'm
it
just
happen.
waiting. I'm just waiting to see. I want to so bad. Oh, it hurts.
I feel good.
Is it weird that I don't even feel it?
No, because you're spicy water immune.
That's true.
My body doesn't like burping. Anybody who's been around me long enough knows that I'm a farter boy, not a burpy boy. And if burping takes a lot of effort for my body. Oh,
It kind of feels like I drunk a knife.
Yeah, it would hurt. It's like
Bubbly is intense. It's not like Topo Chico intense, but it's still one of the more intense.
and also we did
spicy
some
water.
we did some gardening before, so my throat's a little raw. So it was extra like ooh. Come on. Oh, you're edging it.
oh.
Nice.
Nice.
Hold on, no, there's more. That's the bad part about it. I'm over 30.
do the-
I'm over 30. So once you think you're done, and there's actually a little bit left, you learn about that when you pee and you poop. Told you.
I kind of feel one forming, but I feel like it'll happen like mid-episode.
When it comes to taste, bubbly's actually really a flavorful, I think, sparkling water.
Mm-hmm.
Anything more than that, and you're getting into like the dry waters.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the more flavored brands.
So
It didn't taste bad. That was the first time I ever had it, but
Bubblies are good.
I only tasted it for about 3 seconds before my tongue was like, ow, 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 what are you doing to me?
those would be much more of a refreshing beverage to sip on
Yeah.
rather than to chug on,
Like, I feel
because
like-
they are so spicy. My tongue actually felt like it was being cut
And
while
they-
I was drinking it really fast.
They just came out of the fridge, so them babies were crispy.
I mean, I like it because it's refreshing and it gets all that thick spit out, you know?
It
It
does.
really, actually, I feel like my throat and like my nasal passages and stuff, like everything's like really clear right now.
It's like when you get like a McDonald's Sprite that is like somehow
Yeah.
the freshest Sprite you've ever had, and it just like
Crispy.
it feels like it just like scrapes your esophagus clean, you know?
Especially because it's moist.
Moist.
Moist thing's moist.
Today's moist esophagus cleaning is brought to you by Bubbly Sparkling Water, lime flavor.
Not a sponsor.
Duh.
Hi, everybody. Like us. I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer.
And I'm Otto. I got a new job, and I'm a little nervous about it. Cogdell.
And I'm Austin Tiny, the legend, Zent.
And we are Nerded to the Grapevine, the podcast where three best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. And today we're going to come at you consensually. We're going to...
In a loving embrace.
Yeah. We're going to talk a little bit about some upcoming things here. Now, first off, one of the things we're going to talk about today is actually something that I just discovered that Tiny knows not shit about. Which
Sorry.
Are they
Nice.
still forming in there? That's good though. That means it's aiding in digestion.
Yeah, like no, I feel. Hey, you ever feel like you get a bubble about right there in your stomach and it deflates a little bit?
Yeah, that's why I take probiotics.
Yeah, I know.
Oh God, don't bring him back. Don't. I gotta fight it. I gotta. Arrgh, mateys!
Oh God, he's returned.
Arrgh,
Oh,
mateys! Don't forget to go to GNC and get your probiotics and protein powder. Arrgh, if you're gonna get one, you have to get both. Otherwise, the protein won't digest, and it just sits inside of your intestines until it ferments. That's why you get stinking shit farts. Arrgh, take your probiotics. Make sure you have $200 and you want to give them your email.
I mean, one
God,
of
I'm
my
back.
preferred
Oh
back.
God.
one of my preferred places to BM anymore is at Vape Sack Prime. And
Why?
to turn off the fan and shut the door because somebody always complains, even hours later, and it just
Yeah,
It
but
doesn't
the
have
down-
good
the-
ventilation, even with the fan.
yeah.
Like,
And the
roaring.
downside is now you have this is probably going to be some Patreon. Because,
No.
I mean maybe
the
not,
people
maybe
need
not.
to
I don't
hear.
know. Yeah,
The people need to
yeah.
hear.
Well,
They need to know the
now
truth.
at Prime, okay. So one of my biggest complaints about Prime is the wax ring is going out in the bathroom. And one of the cameras in the back that kind of watches the back room points towards the bathroom.
He showed me this today.
So it's been that way. It's not to, do anything nefarious. Okay, I don't want people to think that. It's to watch over backstock. It just happens to have the bathroom in front of it. There's a door for both. But anyway, so I have decided I'm a shirt off pooper. It's not something I
As
share
God
with everybody.
intended.
I didn't used to be that way, and then I started working in a factory. So it happens. And since I'm now a shirt off pooper at Vape Sack Prime, I now have to be a pants off pooper because I have told both of my superior officers
And me.
and some of the other guys, hey, the wax ring's out in there, this should be replaced. It's like $5. And they refuse to do so, so the bottom of the toilet leaks when you're doing your BM. So now I shut the office door where that camera is, and then I shut the bathroom door. I strip completely nude, and then I open the bathroom door so I can hear if customers come in.
Because you can't hear anything when the
Right.
fan's actually on
So-
and you're trying to be polite to the ones who have to future smell.
Exactly. And so anymore that I have a BM at Prime, I'm only wearing Crocs.
Tony, after you ate Taco Bell today at the shop with me, you were gone for an hour and a half from that facility.
I was.
And I went to the bathroom after the door had remained open with the fan running. And it smelled like somebody burned hot dogs and hair in the bathroom. Because you can't just get rid of that stink. Did you not think to just grab the Febreze?
I
and
did
just-
look, in
you
all honesty.
you thought like, hey, my shit smells really bad. I could grab the air
Here's the
freshener,
thing.
but fuck the police coming straight from the underground.
No. I didn't say disregard the constable. I looked at it and I was like, well, I'm going to leave the fan open and the air thing running. He had already gone in the back to do backroom things. So I was like, the smell will be gone by the time he has to go actually use the facility again. And so I was like, I'm not going to waste spray for that.
Yeah, waste spray.
And-
I'm not going to use spray for intended purposes, is what
I
you should have
assumed
said.
nobody was going to be in there for a while because other people had done their business.
So much like how Tiny had no idea that you're supposed to use bathroom scent spray after you cause a stinky scent in the bathroom.
But look, in all fairness, like some of them just smell like you took a big dump in like some field of fruit.
Yeah, that
It doesn't really mask
It
it.
would have been preferred to me because I walked into that bathroom and the smell just said to me, "Welcome to dairy." But it was spelled differently than the upcoming television show that is a prequel to the It movies.
nice
So-
transition.
So if you are a fan of the It movies, the Bill Skarsgård movies, I think that you would probably enjoy Welcome to Derry. There's not much out on it right now. It is based in a previous time in the world of Stephen King's It. It takes place as a prequel to It and It Chapter 2, and it is going to be a show that is released in 2025 on Max. Now, what?
Well, two problems. First of all, okay, I don't know which problem I want to say. First of all, the release is too close to the release of the movie because it only comes back every 20 some odd years. I think it's 23. And so the last It movie was not that long ago. So it's too close. It's not time for it to come back yet. And furthermore, I don't know exactly what material they're going to base it on or the time frame because initially the first part when they're kids, it's like 1954. So where are they going to set it? Like early 1900s? Are we talking like cowboys?
It could very well be.
Or are they going along with the movies? Because the movies seem to be set in like 2000s.
Well, I think that they're going to go along with the movies.
As adults.
Because you know how because it's a prequel to everything, so it's happening before the events of those movies. So if it's before the events of the original It, that means it's before Georgie. So that means it's going to be, tales of the children that went missing before.
Well, no. What I'm asking is it going to be closer to book canon? So that'd put it in the Roaring 20s when there's bootleggers.
So,
and
what's
stuff.
the time period?
Yeah, what's the time period, or is it going to go with the movie canon?
There's no description
80s and 2000s.
Yeah, there's no description available yet. Allow me to do a quick little search on the mother source very fast here.
Basically, I'm just trying to say I'm a little hesitant. I'm open to this show, but it gives me cause for concern and cause for pause.
Would it say that it gives you a little
It
Discord?
does kind of give me a little Discord. There's a link in the description. Find us on there. We're live, uncut, uncensored, and irrevocably circumcised.
I tried to cut him off so hard, and he just pushed me right back into my own fucking lane.
Well, it's been a minute since I've done it, so I had to think about it for just a second, because you fellas have been doing it the last couple of times.
I think that it would be something interesting just because, yeah, they might take some artistic liberties, but they did that with the movies in the first place. So, if what they're doing is just telling, stories of the lore of things that are revolving around the characters in it.
Well, in the book and in the movies, there are news stories of years and years past when it came the first time, so they could potentially explore those times.
Yes.
So it could be more like an anthology instead of like a story arc. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that could be cool.
That would be kind of cool, and they could bring in like other little Stephen King-y elements of almost like a Monster of the Week-y kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of the guys they've got as a main character on there is in his 30s, so he might be playing somebody in his 20s. They've got somebody else in here that's in his 40s. It's going to be hard to. It's going to be hard for me to tell who's going to be playing what. Yeah, they've got most of the people that I'm seeing as far as age-wise, they're all going to be anywhere between their 40s and 30s, including Bill Skarsgård, who is going to be reprising his role as Pennywise.
Which he did really good as Pennywise.
I thought he did a great job.
He absolutely did.
Although Curry's got to be. He's just damn creepy and goofy.
Yeah, here's the thing, okay? I don't dislike the original ones. I don't.
They were. You
They
can't be
were what they were.
You could not be lactose intolerant and watch those movies.
Right.
They are cheese.
Yes. And Tim Curry, for the script he was given, did great, okay? But according to the source material, Skarsgård, his name's kind of hard to say, especially right now.
Uh-huh.
But he did really good. He was closer to a source material version of Pennywise. That's why I enjoy his better, because I'm a reader boy. I'll see you later, boy.
Are you trying to bam, boom, 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 bam? He was a reader boy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
Because
thought.
Avril,
Yeah.
if it's actually her.
Also from Canada.
If it's actually her. There is a theory that she's been replaced, but we'll get into that another time.
Let's
Yeah, I am intrigued.
Mhm.
yeah, allow us to get in that. That's a story for another.
That's going to need a little
time.
bit of research, and I don't have it in me right now.
That's
Plus, my
a
phone's
story
there.
for another time.
Hi, YouTube. Also, while we're talking about it, just so everyone's aware, there are 2 edits that go up on the YouTube. One of them is more uncut than the other. So the audio edit, it's got more things going on in it, more work has gone into it, just because I'm learning how to do video. So it's more unedited than typical.
Yeah. And sometimes on the video on YouTube, like there'll be sound effects that he's uploaded and done onto the actual audio for the podcast that just for some reason didn't translate into the stream on YouTube. Like it'll be a picture of something that he's meant for a sound effect, and it's just a picture.
No, I put a picture, and that was. Are you talking about during the backwards portion?
Yeah.
Well, that picture was supposed to be over the backwards portion.
Yeah, it didn't play the backwards
It
portion.
didn't play the backwards
No,
portion?
it just showed a picture.
Dang.
I might be one of the three views.
I'm
I'm
upset
sorry, I
about
forgot to
that.
say. I figured you would watch it and figure it out on there, but you probably just didn't have time.
Well, see what I've been doing with the videos. I usually set it to play as I go to bed, so at least we get some views. Because at the point that it's released, I've gone through the podcast at least 6 times. So I just don't really have it in me to watch it.
So
But I will play it as I go to sleep.
So from now on, we need to deduct 6 views from every episode that hasn't been on there. You know, except for the new ones. So the new one. So if the new ones have 6 views, that means 6 people's actually viewed.
No, I mean, yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because
Let's look for those big
your
numbers.
view only counts as 1, no matter how many times you view it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well then that's good.
Yeah.
So it's independent views.
Yeah.
And I'm just YouTube ignorant.
Right. Well, I mean, all my previous views is while I'm editing.
So, just talking about new shows and stuff coming out, there has been a new season of a television show that has come out that is an Eric Kripke television show. If anybody's a fan of Eric Kripke, that is the one.
Ain't that wasn't he on Tales from the Crypt?
No, that's different. That's somebody.
The Crypt
completely-
Keeper?
Wait, what was that actually? What was that? I mean, Tales from the Crypt was a part of.
It was like
something. Man, don't get me into a wormhole. I was trying to say a thing. Dadgummit.
I was just
Sent
making
him
a joke
careening
off
off the
Crypt Key
highway.
and Crypt Keeper.
You did, and now my brain hurts because now I can.
I was smelling smoke.
Now all I can remember is that fucking creepy Crypt Keeper scaring me as a child when we got HBO for free those few random times, and you just be watching, you'd be like, I know that it's coming. I know that it's coming. Maybe it's not going to be so scary this time.
I will say, all the things that scared me as a child, that one wasn't one of them. I don't know why.
It creeped me out. That
Everything
and
else did, though.
that gave me nightmares as a child, and so did the garbage as a body puppet on Jim Henson's The Labyrinth.
Look, okay, hold on. Nothing compares to me as a young man, like we're talking 9, 10, 11, 12, watching Dracula Dead and loving it, being both terrified and aroused and not knowing what to do about either.
I remember
That movie
story.
gave me nightmares,
Yeah.
both good and bad.
Damn.
So Eric Kripke he's the director. He was also the director of a long-running series that a lot of people have seen called Supernatural. And The Boys is actually it's really cool if you're
It's by the same people?
yeah.
I did not know that was the same people.
Yeah, and he's got span, man. He's got span. So it's even got recurring character like that used to be in Supernatural verse in the show, like Bobby Singer. He's playing a senator who's now a president in the new series.
Oh, that is him.
His name is Robert Singer. His actual name. So he's in it. Jensen Ackles played Soldier Boy. And of course, Jensen Ackles is Dane. So I mean, it's just cool.
Yeah,
And
that's neat. That's the one thing that's really cool about like when you start getting into like film and television. It's seeing, oh, you made that, but you also made this. It's wild because like Sam Raimi, he made the Evil Dead series.
That's correct.
And he also made the 2000s Spider-Man series.
That's also correct.
And he made 2 cult classic. Well, one is a cult classic. One is just a classic. Like one cult classic Evil Dead series and the 2001 Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie. Like that's wild.
Yeah,
but I'm really. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, looking back on the Spider-Man movies, like from that age, you can definitely tell Sam Raimi did them.
Oh yeah, they're full of it, but it's so good.
Not to mention Bruce Campbell. Like
Right.
Sam Raimi's like, I owe you all this this is all because of you. They know who I am because of you. Come with me. Come. And
Right.
Bruce is like, groovy.
But I'm really excited for The Boys. I haven't watched the newest season yet. I just got Prime back, and it's still on my backlog. But the first 2 seasons, I loved it. It's such a great, like, different take on the superhero ones. And, like, right now it's a little bit played out of, like, the superheroes are look like good guys, but they're actually dicks. It's a little played out, but it brings a new fun twist to it.
It does. I've only seen like the first season and a half ish. I really enjoyed what I saw. I have questions about some of the other characters. That was weird.
Characters.
Like, I don't know who this Soldier Boy is. I have not yet saw that one.
Soldier Boy is from season 3.
Yeah, that's why I haven't seen him.
I hear he cranks it and rolls it.
Soldier Boy is he's basically like Captain America. And by Captain
That's what I
America,
figured.
he is a complete satirical Captain America, to where he was like, and if you he sings music, he does like old timey crooner music, and he's like racist
Weird.
because he was born in the 1920s.
That makes sense.
So he's like totally racist, but it's not like in a way to where he's like intentionally killing one race because they're a minority. He just, if you're not white, he just won't trust you. So and
Yeah, like your papaw's racism.
yes, he's literally a papaw in an ageless super body because it gets back into like, okay, everybody, here's a giant wet spoiler fart for The Boys if you've never seen it.
Wait, you mean I'm going to put a fart in here?
No.
Also, if you're willing to give me a good fart sound, like from your bungus, hit me up at my at my email. It's in a past episode. You'll have to find it.
Yeah, or just join the Discord and send them an audio message.
Or do that. Why are you undercomplicating this?
I just actually want somebody to send you farts.
Stop undercomplicating.
Kind of, you're running it like it was in like 2002. There's faster things than email now.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Look, like I said, you're undercomplicating this.
Oh my god!
Send me a fax of a web link with a QR code.
It reminds me of the episode of South Park when they're trying to get Ozempic for Cartman.
Oh God!
And it's a movie they released on Paramount Plus, and they have to go to the insurance company to get clearance to go to a doctor that'll prescribe it to them. And they get to the insurance company, and they're like, "Oh, hey, are you ready to sign up?" And they're like, "No, we're already customers. We're here to file a claim." And they're like, "Oh, well, then go over here. Just take a left." And they open up this door, and it's just like a whooshing sound, and just a bunch of papers go flying, and it's a man sitting between 2 printers that are the old school printers that have all the paper connected on one reel, just sitting behind him, saying, "Yes, what can I do for you today?" Just constantly printing out stuff behind him. That's what Tiny's like with his technology. He's that guy.
No.
He's working insurance.
I'm not that bad.
So The Boys, so the spoiler fart is for The Boys. It starts off just like any other superhero show. You know, you're getting introduced to these heroes, and you're like, "Oh, this world's got superheroes. This is going to be pretty cool. I'm going to enjoy this quite a bit." You know, because if you're a superhero fan and you like science fiction or anything along those lines, the show comes into play with, look at this world where superheroes exist. I bet this is going to be cool, like Superman. So the first interaction you really get with a superhero is with the main character, Huey, and his girlfriend. I forget her name.
Oh yeah, okay. I was very confused for a second.
Huey is one of the main characters. He becomes one of the boys, which is a covert unit to kill Soups. Anyway, Huey has got his girlfriend, and they're just having a normal day. You know, get him some coffee and everything, and they walk out. You know, and she steps like 1 foot off of the sidewalk, and she's standing in the, just right off the sidewalk. You know, and he's holding her hand and everything, and
they're having like this touching moment. They're like loving each other. They're holding hands. I think they got coffee.
Yeah, and they're
looking at each other's eyes, and I think they were going in for a kiss.
Yes, they were inches away from a kiss, and as soon as his lips almost touch hers, her body explodes into every imaginable
red
piece
mist.
Viscous liquid.
because a superhero who's in a hurry was running too fast, not paying attention, and ran through her. So it gave you a very visceral, very realistic look at what it would be like if the Flash just didn't give a shit.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
And then, like, it happens so often because the next thing that happens is a Vought representative and Vaught's like this company that, like, manages all the superheroes, comes in and says, so we're going to settle this out of court. Here's how much you get. It's like, this happens so often of superheroes.
Yeah, I think they made mention that this particular incident had happened before. Like, this wasn't a first-time thing for
Right.
them.
And it's like, oh, because, like, in comic books, superheroes are always so nice. And, like, of course they would care about people. But this is like, no, superheroes are egotistical, narcissistic people that really don't care about anyone. And this is what would happen if, like, basically the Kardashians had superpowers.
And it shows that, like, Vought Industries is basically just a production company for the superhero saves.
They're Disney.
Yeah, basically all of their stuff that they film, as far as, like, Homelander, it's their superhero that is basically America printed onto a superhero with Superman's powers. So it's Superman's powers with America's attitude. So,
Yeah.
you know, and it's and that's the weird thing too. It kind of changes and is a malleable attitude from one direction to the other as the show progresses. As one way the show progresses, he like currently, I mean, he's straight up like he's got an SS on his back instead of the American flag at this point. I mean, but they don't have it that way. So, but I just like watching Homelander having to save somebody, and it's all in front of just a camera crew with stunt actors, and nobody's really getting saved in real life because it goes in this first season. It shows him and the Wonder Woman style character they have called Queen Maeve have to, like, they fly into this plane that's about to go down and is about to crash. And Homelander's in there, and she's like, well, what are you going to do? You know, are you going to go and lift the plane? He's like, no, I'm not going to go lift the plane. That's physically impossible.
No, I think he can do it. He was just choosing not to do it. I think that's what it was implying.
Yeah, there was something that was going to make it more difficult for him to, like,
he
get
was-
it done.
For him, it was something like, well, I could, but it's going to get my suit dirty, and I don't want to do that because cameras.
No, like, he literally... He talked about the physics of it. Like, he brushed it off as if it was just going to be a nuisance to him.
Well, I mean, the whole idea was they could have done something, and he chose not to do anything.
Because
he chose to let everyone die instead.
Because like,
it's better publicity.
You're correct. But he was also, like, he was trying to explain, like, what am I supposed to do? Go up and underneath and try to put up enough force for it to be able to change its trajectory? I'll punch right through the hole. Like, he's like, it's not possible. She's like, so what are we going to do? Just let them all die? We can't just let them all die. And he's like, we'll live.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he's like, who's going to know? I mean, like, I think you brought up, like, okay, so you can carry two people, I can carry two people. Who are we going to decide how to, do
well,
this?
It's like they had enough time, too, because they can also fly very fast speeds. Because, like I said, they made the whole point that they could save them, but they didn't. And the guy that played Homelander, like, his performance of that role, I think, is probably one of the greatest performances of a character in a very long time. Because, if I remember correctly, he's supposed to be an alien. And so everything he does is very uncanny valley, from the way he just looks at other people to the way that he talks and his mannerisms. It's very almost human, but somebody trying to pretend to be human. And that can't be an easy thing to pull off well.
And the reason for that is actually at the end of season 2.
I mean, I do know that spoiler, but...
Well, it's already been spoiler farted. The reason that Homelander is so alien and is so not human is because he was raised in a laboratory and he was given the
Compound V.
Compound V. And Compound V is basically like a super serum. It does two things. One, it genetically mutates your cells, and whatever ability you get is the ability you get. Number two, sometimes you just explode.
Yeah.
So,
well, he was, I think, the first successful guinea pig because they got him as a child.
nah.
So I think he was the first successful.
Well, I think
I haven't
he-
gotten very
he
far.
was-
In season 3, I'm gonna just give you some education on this, just because it's been out for a while now, and you'll have to watch it to get the full depth of the story of it. But the first successful batch of these all took place during World War II. And that's where Soldier Boy was created, as well as a couple of other superheroes that are introduced in season 3
Gotcha.
and carried out throughout that season, as well as the end of season 2. So what they end up being is a Homelander is actually the first successful, fully genetically made human-style superhero. He's from a test tube. So he's actually the genetic material taken from the original Super Soldier, Soldier Boy. So Soldier Boy is genetically his father.
Oh.
And they had this real Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader kind of phone conversation, because the way that Homelander found out, and you'll have to watch the show to find that out, but he calls him up on the phone, and he's like, Soldier Boy's talking to him, I can't believe you'd even call me and talk to me like this. He's like, I just thought it'd be good to have a little heart-to-heart chat there, Dad. It was just, it was a good reveal.
Yeah, and like Homelander, like to take a half a step back, like he is genuinely scary a lot of the times. Like it's one of those performances where it's not like, oh, this is someone acting. It's like this is.
Oh yeah, he embodies Homelander.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
he makes me viscerally angry and disgusted at him just because like of how deplorable a person Homelander is, and also completely terrified for every character in the scene the second he's on screen.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know he could kill anybody easily.
And there's of course this sexual deviant that's on what they have as their
Yeah,
version
the
of
Deep.
they have this version of the Avengers / Justice League that they have, and it's called the Seven. The Seven. The Dawn of the Seven. They have their own in-world universe of movie canon that they've made their own Marvel Cinematic Universe of their own selves just to be sold better.
And it's like it's treated as such a like basically you're getting to be on like the board of directors of a company is how it's treated, because like to them the superhero game is all just like they're going to be a movie star. Like you don't become a superhero to save people, you become a superhero to make money as an
Right.
actor.
And cities, like I think it's first season, cities actually go to the Void Company and try to like apply for superheroes for their town.
Yep.
So the Seven are not the only ones out there. They coordinate where other ones are going to be, because they had like a contract negotiation, I think, for one to be in Philly. It was just a random offshoot character that I don't think they ever actually show you.
No, and they do stuff like that with characters and lore throughout the show, but the main figureheads of the company that are elected to the board are the Seven.
Right.
And it turns out the Seven are just the figurehead publicly. They're not even in control of anything. There's a board even above that.
I can't remember who is the one that's all in black, like you don't see anything
Black
of
Noir.
him.
Black Noir.
Yeah, Black Noir. Like he's cool. I don't even know who he's supposed to be based on, but it's just what I've seen of him, he's pretty cool.
He's kind of a Batman style character.
Gotcha. I don't think
the-
I've even heard him speak in the show.
He doesn't, I don't think.
In season 3, he talks.
Didn't he
but-
like die?
No, yes, no, yes.
Okay,
So,
I'll just have to watch the show to find
Well,
out.
isn't
Yeah.
he also like super old?
Yes, he was actually one of the original super soldiers from the batch with Soldier Boy, but you don't find out about that until season 3.
Gotcha.
So season 3, it takes a lot of diving into the lore of Vought and how long Vaught's been around and where did Vought come from. And it turns out that Vought is actually a previously franchised, I wouldn't say company or franchise.
Organization.
It was Vought originally escaped the Geneva.
They did like
not the
Operation
Geneva. What is it called?
Paperclip, like
Oh, come on, brain! Why am I not remembering
The
this?
Nuremberg trial?
Nuremberg, yes.
yeah,
So Vought was actually a Nazi super soldier program.
yeah. It was an Operation Paperclip where America was like, "Ooh, we'll not war crime you and put you in prison if you come tell us all the secrets."
Well, I mean, you said Nuremberg. I was going to say that was something they actually tried, but yeah.
but they did that. They escaped that. One of the super soldiers that was actually masquerading as a different super soldier that got to be in the 7 was a Nazi and was actually
hardcore.
Like I'm talking like kill why don't we have gas chambers now kind of Nazi.
I don't think I've seen that guy.
Oh my gosh, her character is epic. I mean, and here's the thing too, like I don't like it's like the Man in the High Castle. Like it's a very, or is it Man in the High Tower?
Man in the High Castle.
It's Man in the High Castle.
That's if like
you talking about the Snooze Fest reimagining of Germany 1?
Yes.
Yeah, Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, I tried watching a few episodes, but it's that same.
I tried reading it and it was bad.
It's that same idea of these characters aren't made for you to like.
Yeah, you're supposed to hate
these
them.
These characters are made for you to watch and feel a thing. And this woman,
except for what it's the new girl,
Starlight.
Yeah, Starlight. She's
Annie.
the only like genuinely nice one.
And I like Annie a lot in the show. The newest season has actually thrown me and my wife for a loop because my wife watches it with me. But it's her plastic surgery that the actress got in real life really made some differences in her face, and it's hard to not just notice it all the time because we've watched.
Well, she didn't need plastic surgery.
No, she was beautiful.
I mean, nobody needs plastic surgery, but
I mean,
yeah.
My mom didn't need plastic surgery on her face to make her eyelids not look like bulldog jowls, but I think it was well deserved.
Yeah, sometimes it's an enhancement.
Right.
Sometimes it's a deficit.
Well, and like one thing with Starlight, I kind of like how they're treating. I know this is some people may have, I don't know, but the way they're treating the female character in there, like they don't make her just a damsel in distress superhero. And there's actually a really cool scene at the end of 3 that kind of, for me, poked fun at like the Marvel women empowerment scene where they all just like stood there. In The Boys, they didn't just stand there. The 3 female characters were the only ones with superpowers and beat the Nazi woman's ass in the street. And it's like, yeah, no, like you showed them being cool, not just because like, oh, we're women and we're cool. It's like, no, we're fucking superheroes. And we're going to beat the fuck out of this Nazi.
Yeah, show them doing something cool. That makes them cool, not just say, hey, they're really cool.
Yeah.
It goes for any of them.
Yeah, because to the point to where they beat that Nazi was to the point to where like she had no arms. Like
it's where Nazis deserve to be beaten
because
too.
she had healing abilities, and they beat her so bad that her healing abilities couldn't comprehend the damage and fix it. Like it was fantastic.
Nice.
It honestly, you need to watch it. You need to watch
really
all
good.
of it. I mean, especially just watching, just because it's a fresh take on superhero stuff for me because I'm so used to all the stereotypical superhero stuff that I've ingested over the years. You get into The Boys, it also has its own lore. But I again, I would have to read. I've taken a hiatus.
Well, the thing about the graphic novel, the show deviates hard and fast. Then it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just it was a shorter story than the show was making it, so they had to kind of like BS it. So,
and also the graphic novel, I've never read it. I've listened to and watched some breakdowns. It didn't like it was okay, but I think the show takes the story
I've heard the show is one of the
better.
very few things that's actually better than the source material.
The one thing that I think turns my wife off about the show that really doesn't bother me that much because I go into it, just like give me what you give me. But the gore. It has so much more gore than anything you've signed up for superhero wise, just because that's the way it would be if superheroes existed. We are made out of squish. We're water balloons to these people, and they're having to walk around in a world where there's nothing but water
meat
balloons.
Sacks full of goo. That's what we are. We're like those squeezy toys that the head gets big and you can see like a different color from the goo. That's us.
There's a basically. I'm trying to remember her actual position there. She's later on in the series like the vice president or president of Vought, but that's all just for show.
The one that does the creepy mommy thing with Homelander.
No, she dies. That's Mallory.
Are you
Good,
talking about
because
the one that
that's
makes
nasty.
heads explode?
No, that's the senator. That's the running for vice president with Bobby Singer as president. I'm talking about. I think her name's Ashley, but she's just a normal person that works in the office. And she's just like, God, I'm going to have to look her up. I didn't want to have to phone knowledge this. Oh,
Yeah, because I'm drawing a blank on this person.
Yeah, she's in all of them, but I cannot remember who the heck she is or who she plays. Anyway, but it's a receptionist kind of character. It shows the kind of stress that she goes through just to have to deal with these superheroes all the time, and it shows how much of a toll it's taken on her because she gets like alopecia from her body rejecting herself, like her own hair, and she starts like stress scratching her alopecia and causes herself to go like completely bald. And it's not like one of those like skin cap, like look at me, like I all of a sudden I've got this perfect smooth head. Like she looks like she got set on fire. And it's all due to the stress of having to deal with these quote superheroes. And like even to find out, like in season 3, Tiny, you missed some of the best television superhero
I
stuff.
do plan on going back to watch it, and when I say that, I actually mean it this time. Not my usual, I might go back and give it another chance. No, I'm definitely going to go back and do it with this one because I enjoyed what I saw, but I had a bad moment with it. Hold on, maybe I got. No, the burpee didn't come.
Damn.
See, during, I want to say, season 2, when the deep goes through all the things, and he gets sent off to Ohio until everything cools out.
Oh, he joins the cult?
Well, I don't know about that, but he's with this chick, and I woke up to where she had her hand up to the wrist inside of his gills.
Oh, yeah.
I woke up to that scene, and it's incredibly visceral. And I was like, I need to watch anything but this show for a little bit of time.
Yeah, well,
and then I just honestly just kind of forgot about the show.
It was to show a juxtaposition because of the way that he entered the show with forcing Starlight to give him a blowjob.
Right.
So now he's having to be forced to endure something against his will that's sexual for the other person.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm not against what happened, but
that is a very hard scene to wake up to because that scene's supposed to make you uncomfortable.
Complete sleep to that.
Yeah, that's supposed to make you feel all sorts of like, I don't enjoy this.
Right.
And
it did. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Like the Deep is he's a character.
Yeah, like he was flirting with a dolphin.
Oh man, in this you've seen the movie Constantine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Been a while, but yeah.
Okay, there's a female
With
actress.
Keanu?
Yeah, there's a female actress that plays like a sexually androgynous Gabriel character in it.
Yeah.
Okay. She's the voice of his girlfriend in this newest season. His girlfriend is an octopus he keeps in his closet in a special aquarium.
Ooh.
Oh my
because,
god!
I don't even want to think about that.
Because in season 3, the cult girl that he gets involved with walks in with him getting his head from the octopus.
Oh god, I can do without that.
How would that even
knowledge.
work?
I don't want to know the logistics of that. They've got a beak.
Yeah,
like a bird. They've got a beak.
You know,
it's like they're such intelligent creatures. They have such a broader range of emotions than we do.
Yeah,
because he can talk to fish. It's the classic Aquaman has sex with fish joke, except it's for real, and that's what he like.
Yeah. Well, like, did you know octopuses or octopi
both are correct
can fit into a hole that is, as long as it is bigger than their beak, they can squeeze their entire body through the hole.
Yeah. So that could be his butthole.
Did you know that the human anus can stretch up?
Stop.
Well, look, it will not accommodate 2 raccoons. I've done the research. Okay. I've done the internet research.
You knew right where I was going.
Yeah, and the human anus will accommodate 750 milliliters of liquid. That would be your common-sized Jack Daniels bottle. That is in no way the size of 2 raccoons.
Oh, hell.
That's the research that I've come across.
But
you can hold a whole bottle of Jack inside your sphincter.
But also from the depths of the internet, where I used to just look at awful videos of people getting in destructive accidents, and
you're not going to talk about Star Bright in a jar, are you?
I'm going to talk about
Mr. Hands.
No,
Mr. Hands is something very different.
Well, actually, let me.
Well, actually, kind of similar to what I was thinking he was going to.
Yeah,
but also different.
different. But so I'm just going to talk about the show again. There's this scene and there's episode in season 3
Oh God, the picture. Oh,
called Herogasm is the name of the episode.
oh Tub Girl. Oh,
And Herogasm is
Two girls.
Two Girls, One Cup was not the worst one of those.
oh, hold on. Okay, so we're gonna go into the story about Two Girls, One Cup.
Oh, hold on, everybody, grab a hold of your
This
seatbelts.
may be Patreon.
Actually, no, it has no reason to be. Okay, so I seen it at one point. Okay, awful. Now, somebody had told my mother that Two Girls, One Cup was something funny.
No,
Oh,
no,
no.
no, Mom.
I don't know.
No.
It was somebody that she worked with. I don't think they were trying to set her up. I think two of the younger people were talking. Mom overheard, and she was like, "What is that?" That's what I think. I didn't ask a lot of questions. So she calls me one day, and she's like, "Hey, come over. I ain't seen you." And I was like, "All right, cool. I love you, Mom. I'll be there, and we'll get lunch or something."
Oh no.
So we have lunch, and I'm sitting there, and me and Mom are talking like me and Mom talk. And she said, "Have you heard of this Two Girls, One Cup?" And I said, "Excuse me?"
Please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't,
Yeah,
please don't.
I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, I know what those words mean, but they don't make sense coming out of your mouth in that order. And I said, "Yes, I know what that is." And she's like, "Well, I've heard it's funny." I said, "No, it's not." And she said, "Well, I want you to get on your phone and find it so I can watch it."
Please don't, please don't, please don't, please
I
don't.
said, "Mom, I don't want to do that." And then she started yelling at me because she was my mother. She gave birth to me.
You have
You
to
know,
listen.
that whole
She-
thing,
She
yeah.
told you something.
She mommed me, and I
Oh,
said,
no.
"Fine." I said, "Mom, you asked me one more time, because usually if somebody has something really dumb they want me to do, I make them ask me 3 times, because the third time, you're well aware that I don't want to do it." Okay? So I told Mom, I said, "Mom, you've asked me twice. If you ask me one more time, I will find it. You won't like it, but I'll find it." So she asked me to find it again.
What did
So
your
I
mom
sat
think?
there, and I propped my phone up on something on the dining room table, and I sat there and looked at her face. And she was like, "Why are you looking at me that way?" And I said, "You'll understand." And then I clicked play, and then, I heard the music. And then she got real upset. She threw my phone, thankfully, on the carpet. She screamed, and she said, "Why did you show that to me?"
3 times.
I said, "Mom,
Separate times, Mom.
yeah, you asked me 3 times. You mommed me, gave me the whole mom spiel. That's what it is." She's like, "How was that funny?" I said, "It's not." I said, "You probably wasn't supposed to hear that conversation." 10 out of 10. Don't recommend doing that with your mother.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely
no,
never in the
no.
history. I would blatantly tell her what it was she was about to watch.
I couldn't say those words to my mother
I would. I'd rather.
because she asked me, and I said, "I don't know if I can
But-
say those words to
But
you."
honestly, if it was still around these days, and my mother did that to me, I would use.
Oh, you can still find it. I guarantee you.
I would use, but my mother would never ask me that.
I'll text her.
My mother would never say to me, "Hey, what is Two Girls, One Cup? Show it to me on your phone," because then I would have to then use my wife's phone to record my mother's face watching Two Girls, One Cup and post it to the $10 Patreon. So,
Right. Right.
I would never do that. I'd never want to do
So if somebody wants to text Pappy, I'm not
Hey, Fuzzy.
saying that I know her number because I don't, but if you somehow get her number and just text her those words, I'll give you a crisp high five.
that. Something that's really weird.
Not that I want Pappy to see that because that'd be awful.
Something that's really weird throughout the entirety of The Boys is also how messed up the sexuality is on all these superheroes, because a lot of them, like, if they're not also dealing with other, like, supers, then, like, they don't have a very good grasp on sexual activities with non-supers. Like, they just kill them.
Yeah, because like all the supers have like enhancements to their physical form to allow them to withstand things that normal people don't. Like A-Train should explode, but he don't because he's a superhero. So they're built to withstand the punishment of laying that hog pipe.
And there's a
Hog pipe?
there's a
You know what I'm saying.
there's a several things that happen that are all weird sexual things. Like there's this guy who can shrink down really small. And
I heard about that.
He crawls inside of people's buttholes in order to stimulate butthole stuff, and then but the thing
unawares to them.
Well, no, it's actually a sexual thing that he was doing with.
No, he knows what he's doing, but they don't typically.
Oh,
that's what I was told.
Well, sometimes in the past he had done date rape things like that, but in the scene that they showed, he was in a consensual agreement kind of thing, and he like sneezed while in there, and his body expanded back to full size, and it exploded the person. It was like Ant-Man Thanos theory. Like, well, if that's the case and Ant-Man could just get like this size, why didn't he just get that size, crawl up Thanos' butt, and just get giant size? Like, I don't know. Marvel doesn't think like the boys.
Well, if they... Hold on. Okay, so here's the thing. If they were both supers and he did that, he would be wearing Thanos like an Edgar suit. So would it be a situation of Thanos's organs getting smushed around like one of those squeezy toys we talked about before? And would his body withstand that pressure?
It would be a toughness kind of situation, but a lot of these people are tough from the outside in, not the inside out, and that's a big problem.
Well, that's true because one of them did get a C4 bomb stuck in his butthole.
Yeah,
and he died hard.
What was his name? His name wasn't even clever because they made fun of it. He was invisible, but they called him translucent.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And there's a guy on there that I forget which one it is. It might be Frenchie. It might be Mother's Milk. There's hard to tell. We haven't even talked much about
before Mother's Milk.
Like the boys.
Before you came along.
The name of the show is The Boys, and it's based on the boys. You've got Huey. You've got Butcher.
Louie,
Billy Butcher.
Donald.
Huey, Louie.
And Duck.
Oh, wait. He was Huey, Louie, and...
Dewey.
I always forget about Dewey. No. Huey, Mother's Milk, Frenchie, Butcher, and...
Butcher's a cool character.
And the Asian girl with powers, Kimiko, I think's her name.
Kimiko, yeah.
I don't know her name. I haven't got that far.
But honestly...
I've seen her.
Like they're the main focal point of the show, and I'm sorry that we've lingered so much on talking about the soups because it is
honestly most of the show is based around the soups,
but it's also half and half based with the group that's out to kill the soups, especially Homelander.
I don't think. Well, Butcher definitely wants to kill him. I think the rest of them want him to get arrested.
Like Butcher's dying. What do you want to do? Oh, I reckon they're taking another crack at Homelander.
He has the kind of beef with Homelander that Kendrick has with Drake.
Yeah.
Like you may say you hate somebody. No one hates Homelander like Billy Butcher.
Yeah, Billy Butcher is just a whole other level of screwed up.
Didn't Homelander like kill his wife or allow his wife to die or something to that effect?
Well, he ended up raped his wife.
Yeah, it was like
okay. I knew there was something that happened, and his wife ended up dying because of it.
This is like in season 2. They say that she died, but what actually happened was he carried Homelander's kid, and she is raising Homelander's kid right now.
Yeah.
She's dead.
That's what they told him.
Because it shows him at a.
Butcher's like old connect within the deep government. That's like the older lady.
I don't think I've seen that yet.
Well, he has her, and she has actually got them, both Butcher's wife and Homelander's child that his wife had, in seclusion, raising the child in seclusion. And the boy's name is Ryan, and he's got Homelander's powers.
Yeah, Vought paid to have her publicly dead. To every record, she's dead, and he had a funeral, and they paid for the funeral. But really, they were like, she's pregnant with his kid. We want to see what happens if she pops that baby out.
So we're going to steal her.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first natural born super is Ryan.
Yep. No compound V, no nothing. Just straight.
And he is the genetic offspring of the first successful genetic experiment soup. From test tube to adulthood.
Yeah, it's crazy. The lore gets very deep, and I really recommend it. I need to get caught back up on it. I had 2 other Amazon Prime shows I was watching, like Invincible, which if you like
It's another gory
Boys,
superhero.
Yeah, it came out about the same time. If you don't mind the gore aspect of The Boys, it's a little bit less because it's like animated, not like CGI real life. But it is really good, and it kind of deals with the same like crazy Superman-esque person come to Earth. Like, what if they're actually kind of a bad person?
Yeah.
But really good soundtrack too.
You need to get back into The Boys season 3 just so you can watch Herogasm, Tiny.
Well, I'm gonna start from that name. I'm gonna start over from the beginning because there's a lot that I don't remember because it's been a while. But I do plan on watching them all. Maybe I'll start that at SAC 2.
The A tier,
nobody comes in there hardly.
the A tier superheroes and the 7 aren't typically involved in Herogasm. Herogasm are the B and C grade heroes that don't get much attention, all going to the same exotic location and having a giant orgy.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, there's this alien planet. We have to go and defend Earth. And then they all just take like a week off and fuck and do drugs.
Yep, and it's hosted by like basically this Wonder Twins knockoff that they have from the old school superheroes and
Wait,
stuff.
is this an anime?
No, this is
It's like an
The Boys.
It's like a
Oh, this
side
is
show.
in The Boys.
Yeah, this is an episode of The Boys called Herogasm.
Okay, I was very confused for a second.
Dude, it's the season 3 gets so wacky with stuff. Just, I mean, even Herogasm itself, like there's so much blood. It set a new scale. It set a new scale for 2 different things on screen: cum,
Of course,
and blood.
of course.
There were two things in more amounts on the screen on television.
Well, I mean, if you're adventurous, both could be used as lubricant.
Oh,
well, there's help
That
me.
sounds like an infection.
Why do I feel like I just wilted?
yeah. I want to
don't
I want
know.
to unzip my skin and put it in the washer.
If it helps, I'm going to beep that one.
Good. That's
Yeah,
that's rough.
That needed to.
Yeah.
But The Boys. If you haven't watched The Boys, get into it. They have the new season that is out on Amazon Prime right now. It is a week-by-week release of the episodes, so you can't just binge them all in one sitting right now. They've got 3, as far as I know, out right now. Last time I checked, I'm going to check again probably when we're done podcasting because that's my current watch on the television since I just finished the newest release of all of the Bridgerton episodes. It's good. So here's the thing. Now, we've just got a couple minutes left. I want us to discuss if we had to have some superheroes that we already know kind of venture into their own little like area together, who would they be? And like a side quest, like their team up, it's a buddy cop kind of thing, but they would have to have these real world attitudes, and what would be different about them than the comics? So, like, per example, we can use Batman as one. How would Batman fare if it was set in, say, where we live, in the middle of rural Tennessee? How would Batman fare here in the middle of the heartland?
So we're changing not just location, but we're basically reimagining them. Is that what we're saying?
It is a reimagined
like his
heroes.
Batmobile.
It'd be a truck.
No, I feel like it'd be more of a tractor.
It'd be a
Like
combine.
a big old New Holland.
Or what if it was
Husky Barn.
like a 1987 like Pontiac Trans Am? Because like it had to be a cool car,
Yeah.
like
It depends how rural.
right?
You know, I feel like you could have both.
I think that whatever
Both could be true.
I think that whatever car or vehicle that Batman would have to have in this area, he would have to have it like instead of having like that.
A square body. You mix a square body Chevy and an old school New Holland tractor, like together into one unit. That's what his Batmobile would look like.
What
It
are
would
those?
use so much oil.
What are
It
those?
would,
What are those
but it could
giant?
also run on kerosene.
What are those giant tall machines that they use on the farm that have the giant?
Oh, the ones that you
wheels?
want to drive
Harvester?
under every time you're behind it.
I think it's not a combine, is it?
What are you talking about?
Wait.
There's the thing on the front or the thing on the back?
Hold on, I'm going to look it up real
Is
quick.
it
here.
like a real long?
It's
front
not a
thing?
harvester.
Okay, that's a harvester. Well,
It-
because a combine and a harvester are kind of the same thing.
They're
just
the
a different
same thing.
attachment.
Yeah. Or are you talking about like the tractor that's got the thing with the discs behind it for hay?
Something like that, but it's just a really, really tall boy. I can't remember what they're called. Man, I wish I knew farm stuff. I live on one. Anyway, it'd be one of those, but it could drop the Chevy from underneath it. If there's like an ejection, you gotta eject.
Yeah.
You gotta eject the big tractor, but you release the small monster truck.
Does he have to close the door about 4 times before it actually closes?
Yes, because he forgets to lift as he closes.
Yep.
And he calls out. He clicks the dashboard and he said, "Alfred, you still haven't got this door fixed." "Master Wayne, that's half the appeal of the vehicle if you keep the defected parts."
But
Listen.
it's also got the old school like rotary radio,
And
and he's got to slap the dash every now and then because it'll go
And even if it
real bad when Alfred's talking through it.
And the second most useless superhero that could go along with him, though, because he's at least got gadgets, and I'd say Batman could adapt to the area and
he's
create
the world's
gadgets.
greatest detective.
You know, he could adapt to like, you know, where's his plane going to be? Oh, his plane is actually the top of the water tower over there. It just kind of scoots off. Okay, that's cool.
Right.
But you know who would be the most useful?
Aquaman.
No, we have lakes
I know.
and big ponds.
who's he going to talk to? The catfish?
It doesn't matter.
Right, exactly.
It doesn't matter. At least Aquaman's still got super strength as long as he's not dehydrated. You know who the one who I think would be the most useless around this area would be? Spider-Man. What's he gonna
Yeah.
do?
He cannot swing really.
What's he gonna do?
at all.
He can go to the national parks in Tennessee
Well-
and he can swing from the trees.
Well, he could swing from the light poles.
He could go to Nashville
But
and he can
not
go.
very good
He can
swings.
stay in downtown Nashville only and swing from the skyscrapers. I mean, if he wants to, if he's in the area that we're at, he's going to be swinging from the electrical poles.
Also, someone
Yeah.
will bag and tag him.
Somebody would.
Absolutely. Well,
No, I swear,
think
I've seen that Sasquatch in my backyard. I swear there's a Sasquatch back there in my trees. I've seen him climbing.
Well, I think a useless pairing is not the move we should make. However, because Batman's useful, but you're right, Spider-Man would be less useful.
Give me a less useful one than Batman, because Batman could adapt.
Yeah, I'm saying that we should have useful ones.
Well, we don't got time for useful.
I want to see Batman and Green Arrow in a buddy cop, like 80s detective noir. Or like Miami Vice, but it's fucking Bruce Wayne and Oliver Queen as Batman and the Green Arrow. That'd be fun.
I think that those would probably already exist somewhere.
Iron Man.
Iron Man?
Yeah, because we've all had at least one neighbor growing up in the rural South whose yard was pretty much a junkyard full of just scrap cars, and they're heavily on meth. Iron Man would be that.
So Iron Man would be still played by Robbie Downey Jr., but
before he had Burger King.
and I think it'd be
He credits Burger King with getting him clean.
but yeah, because it would be
They must have went to the one by my house.
it'd be Tony Stark that instead of becoming a raging alcoholic, Tony Stark just becomes extremely addicted to that sweet, sweet meth.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, and he cobbles stuff together out of like useless old car parts, like the grill of an old Studebaker that's just all rusted and cancerous.
like his Iron Man suit literally looks like the Iron Giant, except it's
I made 6 trucks into one truck.
Yeah. Over here, I got the flare side Ford.
It'd be like Johnny Cash's One Piece at a Time, but it's just different square bodies, 70s and 80s trucks.
I made my crotch out of the hood scoop from a Trans Am.
What year is it?
One of those. One of the ones ever made.
I think
he would have his like secret guy, like his hookup stuff would just be the AutoZone guy down the street.
Yeah. The suit would be powered by a big block V8.
he calls up his buddy and he's like, "Hey,"
or a Cummins.
he calls up his buddy and he says,
12 valve. It'd have to be a 12 valve Cummins. It'd be rolling coal.
he calls up his buddy who works at the auto parts store, and the buddy doesn't recognize the voice over the phone, and he's just needing this final belt to make his suit work, and there's danger, and he needs this in an emergency. And he's like, "Hey man, I need a belt for the suit to make sure that it works." And his buddy's like, "Okay, what year, what make, what model?"
Here's the thing. This backwoods Iron Man, if you put it in the boys style twist, he's only fighting to protect his meth lab. Like, he doesn't care about anything else. It just so happens that a lot of the things he does works out positively for the people around him. But he's only trying to protect his stash.
So he's secretly destroying the area he's living in because he supplies them with all of their meth.
Yes.
But he's got to protect the area that he lives in to keep his operations operational.
Yes.
Now, Spider-Man, on the other hand, is such a fan of Iron Man that he just ignores the fact that there's something wrong with Tony here recently.
No,
and I can't quite put my finger on it. It's like his teeth are chattering.
No, because every tweaker old man has a tweaker protege to learn the ways, and that is Peter Parker.
And he always and I always ask him, Mr. Stark, like, how do you focus so much and get all of your inventions done the way that you do? I just want to be like you. And he's like, here, just take just one hit of this. And I'm like, what is this? And he's like, it's my smart rock.
He's like, why does this glass tube have a rose on it?
He said, Tony. He said, Mr. Stark, why is this rock so precious to everybody? He's like, it's the most valuable rock on the planet.
It's the most powerful
Infinity
rock in the
Stone.
world.
You think that vibranium is something that's powerful and something that nothing has decimated countries worse than this rock.
He's got a real big one down in there on like an altar. It's like the size of a watermelon.
Basketball-sized meth rock.
He's got a salt lamp with a crystal on it the size of a salt lamp crystal, but it's just a meth rock. And they're like, Mr. Stark, what is that? That's what provides us with our energy. Look, you turn on the light, and then all of a sudden you see like a burner go on underneath it, and just fumes are like going up into the air off of it. He's like, Mr. Stark, I've got so many ideas just burning into my skull. What do I need to do with all these ideas in my head? Mr. Stark, what do I need to do? And he just says, Peter, when life gives you grapes,